there's not much more for you to do now, Benny. You may as well push off early.
Are you trying to get rid of me or something?
No, of course he's not.
Yes, I am. I'm fed up with you walking around here all day looking with a face like an old welly. You don't eat any food, right? Why don't you go out for a walk, get some fresh air or something? Tell you what, look, take my detector over there and go and finish off what we started in that field.
What, you mean on my own?
On your own till I finish work. I'll come over later, right? Do me a favour, will you? If you find a bag of gold, smile, will you?
Oh, there's veal and ham pie or some boiled ham. Which do you prefer?
Well, I wouldn't mind a bit of both, Kath, if it's all right.
Oh, I suppose it's all right. Don't forget there's Mac and Kevin to come.
Oh, as if I would. I have much of an appetite at my age, you know.
Oh, you do all right.
But please, Kath, none of that salad stuff, if you don't mind. I'd rather have the spuds.
Well, I'll leave you to help yourself. Now then, I'll have to get on, otherwise I'm going to miss my bus.
Right, yes, well, give Glenda my love,
Yes,
won't
I
you?
will.
And tell her I'm looking forward to seeing her next week when she comes out of the hospital.
Next week? No, you won't be here next week. It's the end of your holiday, remember, Wally?
Oh, aye.
Still, she shouldn't be in there for very long. Just a couple of days, I think, so all being well. You'll see her before you go.
These tests they're doing...
Yeah, what about her?
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with her, is there? I mean, there's a fine, strapping lass, I'd have said.
No, of course there's nothing wrong with her, but they just have to be careful with the baby, you know, keep a check on the baby.
Why?
Well, I mean, it's not quite the same, is it? I mean, there's no reason why everything shouldn't be normal, but just in case, you know.
Test tube baby. I've never been able to understand how they manage all that.
Oh, it's not all that complicated, you know, once
No.
they get started, no.
Well, they can't keep it in there for long, can they?
What?
Well, a baby in a test tube.
Oh, don't be so daft, Wally. It doesn't grow in there, and it's not a test tube. It's in a sort of dish.
What?
Yeah, they put the egg in a sterilised dish, and then when it's fertilised, they put it straight back inside the mother.
Well, how did they manage to do that, then? I mean, fertilise it in a dish.
Oh, Wally, surely I don't have to start telling you about the birds and the bees at your age.
Well, you know, I shouldn't have thought the birds and bees had aught to do with it myself. You know. I mean, look, Kath, they take an egg from Glenda and they put it in a dish, right? Where does young Kevin come into it?
Use your imagination, Wally. He's already... You know, they've...
Well, go on. I mean, I'm interested.
Well, I mean, he's done his part first, you see. So when they take the egg out, they can put them together.
It's in a dish.
Yeah.
Can't see it catching on myself.
Hello, Crossroads Garage. Oh, hello, Mr. Banks. Yeah, I'm afraid she's gone. She left about half an hour ago. You know, she should be home by now, if you call her. Yeah. Okay, cheers. Bye.
Let's have a look at it. Hang on. I see what...
Hey, what's happened to you? I just fell over and hurt me.
Get the first aid box, will you, Mac?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. I leave you 5 minutes, that's all. And look what happens. What happened? Did you fall over your big feet or something? Well, we haven't damaged my detector.
It's all right.
Oh, that looks really bad. Should we get a doctor?
Ain't no need for that.
Got a bit of a shiner coming up there. Have you been fighting?
No?
Come on.
Well, it weren't much of a fight.
Well, how did it happen? How did it start?
But I went over that field, you know, where we were before, going round the edges with the detector, and there was some kids watching. And so I called them over and said, you know, they could have a go.
You didn't let some strange kid have a go at my detector, did you?
Well, they were careful. And it weren't that they were strangers, because I'd seen them before when I were up there.
So how did the fighting start? What happened?
Well, you see, we did find something, and I were down digging for it. And then this bloke came along and tried to take the detector off the kids. Well, at first he didn't see me, because I were down that ditch, you know, at the side, by the edge. And anyway, the one lad, he started getting frightened and crying.
And so you had a go at him?
Well, I had to, didn't I? Otherwise, he would have pinched the detector thing. Anyway, I was mad. He was spoiling everything.
Yabbo's going about scaring kids.
So you hit him?
Of course I did.
Who called the ambulance then?
Oh, we weren't that bad. We just left him there and we come away.
What was your name? Did you know him?
seen him before. I don't know what his name is.
Well, what did he look like before you hit him? Give me that.
Well, he was sort of like about as big as me, with ginger hair, cut all funny, and a green shirt and these jeans on.
Ah, I think I know who you mean. I don't know the guy's name. What's his name? Kenyon or Kendon or something? He's a right little hero. Goes around with a gang of thugs. All they do is beat up old pensioners for their pension books.
Yeah, very nice.
Anyway. Okay, all right. How's that? Yeah. You've made a right enemy of that guy. I think what you ought to do, Benny, is not to bother to go into the village for a few days, right?
Well,
Lie low for a while.
I ain't scared of him,
You might
know.
not be scared of him, but next time he's going to come mob-handed looking for you, right?
Yeah, Sid's right. Keep out of sight.
Hello, Mandy. Orange squash, please.
Miranda, I only want to
Later,
ask...
Paul.
I simply want to ask...
Later. Look, I don't know if I'm going to be eating here tonight or on some plane going who knows where. Because if I do catch an aircraft, it'll be the first one I see at the airport, regardless of its destination.
I only wanted to ask...
If you're short of tables yet again, release mine.
Look, I'm not here to ask about tables or what you like for dinner. I merely wanted
Paul,
to...
you're pestering me.
No, I'm not. I really am not.
Yes, really, you are. Have you been busy all day, absent all day, or avoiding me all day?
I've been busy discussing your future here all day, Miranda.
So I am to have one, then?
Well, didn't your mother tell you that David's expecting you in the office at 6:45 this evening?
Mother also told me that it is against company rules for you to transfer your shares and make me a director.
Ah, well, I really think you ought to let David pronounce to you on that.
And why can't you pronounce to me on it?
Well, he's the chairman. Oh, that is a nice piece, isn't it? It's just as well to dress up, make a good impression on a day so important in your young life. It was very good of you to lend it to her.
I didn't lend it to her.
But you must have. I distinctly remember surprising you with that on, what was it, our 15th wedding anniversary.
24th, would you believe? I gave it to Miranda. For luck.
Ah. What?
You have it for luck. Because if David doesn't make me a director tonight, you'll never see me again.
Good evening, J. Henry, Miss Pollard. I've just been trying to communicate with your daughter.
I've been trying all my life.
Would you please ask her when she would like to commence?
Commence? What?
I'm sorry, Miranda. An old and valued resident, but it's impossible to tear oneself away from his farewells. Won't you sit down? Well, I wish you would, because I want to. Did Paul Ross manage to find time to get to you?
Get to me or at me?
What? Oh, yes, he does palaver, doesn't he?
He's not the only one, David. I don't know what you're talking about, but it's not what I came to talk about.
Yes, it is. I told Paul to tell you the board had come to a decision about you and to ask you when you wished to commence.
Commence what?
Learning the ropes.
As a director on the board?
Yes, well, how shall I put it?
Very cautiously. This, to me, is no joking matter.
Oh, nor to me. You see, I am quite unaccustomed to being your father, and since your real father is too scared of you tonight, I shall have to play the part, as he always should have, firmly. First, you'll do as you're told. Now, sit down. Do you know, I find it difficult to decide which is greater, your impertinence or your vanity. However, some of your father's qualities may have permeated your personality, in which case it's possible that in time you may become half as good a business person, to use the modern jargon, as he is, in which case you could become quite an acquisition to any organization. Miranda, did you hear what I said about the future? About experience?
You didn't mention experience, only inexperience.
Oh, you have the latter in abundance. I'm now offering you the former. But as Jill said only yesterday, a bit at a time.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, this afternoon I informed all executives of the undermanagement that you would remain at the motel to learn the ropes, which means that under their expert instruction you could become a director. Eventually.
And how long is eventually in your dictionary?
As long as it takes. And you are going to take it, aren't you, Miranda?
I am going to take the first plane I can find out of here, and I'm not coming back.
Miranda, you've been in a plane of sorts all your life. Now it's time.
Time?
To come down to earth and to be as caring and considerate a daughter to J. Henry as he is a father to you. And you will, won't you?
Hello, Mr. Dobson.
Mrs. Brownlow in?
No, I'm afraid not. You missed her again. Yes, never mind. Come in. She won't be long. 7:30, she said. Well, somewhere around that, anyway. Have a seat.
Oh, thanks.
That's right. Would you like a drink? We've got some beer in fridge. Just the job, eh?
I don't think I will.
No. Just wait for Kath, eh? How about a cup of tea?
Well, if she's not too tired after a hard day's work.
Well, I mean, she does overdo it, doesn't she? After I've told her myself, you know.
Yeah, have you?
I feel responsible, you see. With Arthur gone, she needs a man about the house to keep an eye on her.
You've taken on that responsibility, then?
Well, I have to. I mean, say there's nobody else, is there? The kids are full of their own importance. I mean, they pay no attention.
I'd have said Mrs. Brownlow was capable of managing.
Oh, I mean, she's no age. She's got lots of years ahead of her.
Comparatively young woman.
I believe you've got a nice little business going with...
Yeah, we don't do so badly.
Right, yes. I was very short with you when you called the other day, you know, but I had no idea. You see, it might have been anybody.
Doorstep salesman you took me for.
Oh, never.
Oh, I didn't take offense. Very sensible of you. You can't be too careful who you let into the house.
That's right.
Especially when you're getting on in years.
You're Well, I'm not that old, you know.
No?
Oh, no.
I'd have said 65 at a rough guess, if not more.
It's as sure as it goes to show how wrong people can be. Nowhere near. Oh, of course, I've my bad days when I look a bit rough, you know, but I'm still capable of doing a day's work. Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, I've got 1 or 2 feelers out at this moment.
Oh, yeah?
Nothing going in your place, I suppose.
Nothing that would suit you.
Well, I'm not proud, you know. Mr. Dobson, not proud. I mean, casual neighbouring.
I think you'll be a bit too casual for my taste. Sorry, I can't help you.
Right, well, I don't... Oh, is that you, Kath?
Oh, Percy, how nice.
Oh, I thought I'd look in, see how you were.
Well, I'm very glad. Wally, why didn't you offer Mr. Dobson a drink?
Well, I did, but he turned it down. He didn't want...
How about a cup of tea, then?
Oh, don't trouble yourself on my account.
Oh, it's no trouble at all. I could do with one myself. I'll just put the kettle on.
By the way, how's Glenda?
Oh, well, she's a bit disappointed, but she's all right herself.
Kevin said something about an important test she'd gone in for.
Yes, the amniocentesis, yes. They were hoping to do it today, but they couldn't. Anyway.
Funny business altogether, I think.
A lot to go through. It must be very worrying for the whole family.
I don't hold with it, you know. Tampering with nature.
Oh, come in, Benny. Hello, Kath. I've brought Benny round.
Oh, good. Go on through, love. I'm just putting the kettle on.
Oh, ta.
Hey,
Hello,
well.
Mr. Dobson.
Evening.
Sit yourself down, Benny. Hello, Wally. What sort of day have you had?
Oh, not so dusty, Matt. Not so dusty. Hello, then. What have you been doing?
You weren't looking where he was going.
You could have a right shiner there in the morning, you know that, Benny.
It's not too bad.
Oh, quite a party, isn't it? Oh, Penny. What's the matter with your face?
Oh, I just...
Let's have a look. Anybody had a look at it?
Yes, Sid. Mr. Hooper, he cleaned it up for you. It's only just a scratch.
Yeah, well, as long as they made sure it was clean.
It looks worse than it is, Kath.
I think I'll get on with some gardening, but before it gets too dark. That lawn could do with another going over.
Oh, it's all right, because that's why I do come round.
Oh?
Well, you know, I did make arrangements with Benny.
Yeah, you see, I like gardening. Well, I'll go and get on with
Well,
it.
what about your cup of tea,
Oh, it's all right. I had one in the cafeteria before I came.
Oh, well, I'll bring you out a cup later on, then.
Here, hang on a minute. Don't you go touching those cuttings I brought over.
Oh, dear.
Oh, Kath, if I knew Mr. Dobson was there, I wouldn't.
It's all right, love. It's all right. He's just got his nose put out of joint, that's all. And not for the first time, either.
What are you looking at me for? I've said nothing.
No, not now, perhaps. But you didn't exactly make him welcome when he came round the first time, did you?
Oh, that's all over now. We're pals now.
Oh, I'm very glad to hear it. Well, I better ask him to supper, I suppose. You can't sit down in that dirty shirt. Go up and change it.
Clean on today.
Wally.
Well, a couple of days.
Look, egg stains all down the front. Go on. And give yourself a wash and shave while you're about it, too.
Right. I don't know what I came back for. Nothing but nag, nag, nag from morning till night.
I don't know what he came back for, either.
Something wrong?
No, it's nothing serious, really, but Glenda's a bit upset. You know, that test she was going to have, well, she was so tense, so apprehensive, the sister said, they weren't able to do it. They're hoping to carry on tomorrow. Let's hope Kevin can calm her down, get her to relax.
How long is it now?
50 minutes.
Once Miranda stretches an argument over 2 minutes, she never gives in. Sir David's fluffed it.
Yeah, you could be right. Look at the face.
Paul,
Did someone,
I did.
Yes?
At David's request, I shall start taking instruction as to the management of a restaurant at whatever time suits you tomorrow morning.
I shall be very happy to commence instructing you straight after breakfast.
I'll see you then.
I look forward to it.
It's rotten.
No, not really, darling. David's right, you know. You must have experience.
There's no getting through to that lad. I keep telling him he's going at it too fierce, but he takes not a blind bit of notice. There'll be nothing left.
It's odd, Mr. Dobson. Benny knows what he's doing.
Does he? He's hacking that hedge to pieces.
Oh, it needs thinning out anyhow. It's going to grow back much better next year. Look, Benny's country. He's been working in farms all his life till he came to us.
It's not the same thing at all. Farming, altogether different from looking after a garden. Can't understand Mrs. Brownlow letting him loose out there.
Trust him. You'll be surprised, Mr. Dobson.
If you say so. I only hope she doesn't give him the run of the house into the bargain.
What?
Well, you never know, do you? Type like that. Tuppence to the shilling.
Benny is all right.
Maybe. Still doesn't look right. Half-witted lad doing the garden. And that scrounging old so-and-so, what's his name? Walter Soper, taking advantage of her good nature.
Well, go on.
Oh, what?
Well, there's Benny the half-wit, there's Wally the scrounger, and then taking me in as a lodger. I mean, you might as well finish what you were going to say.
I had no intention of...
Well, look, you're going to say one bad word about Benny, and I'll have you ripped apart. Understood? And think about it while you're enjoying your free supper.
Supper? I wouldn't sit down to eat with you and that roughneck out there, not if you paid me.
Percy?
Good night, Kath.
It was a bit sudden, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he's having trouble with his feet.
With his feet?
He has a touch of frostbite.